Hansel and Gretel story narrating. On the edge of a huge forest, there lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and his two children. The boy was called Hansel and the girl Gretel. They were very poor and sometimes there was not enough food to feed them all. One day, stepmother said to the woodcutter, "We do not have enough food for ourselves. So, how can we feed the children? Tomorrow, we must take them deep into the forest and leave them, or else we shall all starve." The woodcutter was under his wife's magic spell, and he agreed to her terrible plan. The children overheard their plot without their knowledge. Gretel began to cry, but Hansel had an idea. The following morning, the children were awakened early and each was given small piece of bread. They set off for the forest. Hansel was walking more slowly than the others. "Why are you so slow?" his stepmother snapped. "I am only saying goodbye to my little pigeon. It is sitting on the roof waving at me," said Hansel. However, Hansel was really stopping to drop crumbs of bread on the path to show them the way home. They were deep in the forest. The woodcutter built a fire and told the children to wait beside it until he came to fetch them. The children waited until it got dark and Gretel started to cry. When the moon rose, Hansel and Gretel looked for the trail of breadcrumbs. But there were no breadcrumbs as they had been eaten by the birds in the forest. The children walked all through the night trying to find their home, but they didn't know which way to go. They were soon completely lost. Suddenly, Gretel cried, "Hansel, look!" In a clearing ahead of them was the most amazing house they had ever seen. It was made of gingerbread and iced with pink and white sugar. It was covered all over with red, orange, and yellow sweets, and the windows were made of clear glass. Hansel and Gretel were so hungry that they ran and started to break off the pieces of sugar, marzipan, and the chocolate. Suddenly, the door swung open and an old woman looked out. "Hello, children," she said. "Would you like to come inside and rest a while? I have lots of sweeties in the house for you to enjoy." The children went into the house and the old woman gave them delicious cakes, chocolates, and gingerbread. The children were so happy that they would no longer be hungry. Soon they fell asleep, not knowing that the old woman was really a wicked witch. The next day, she locked the poor Hansel in a cage. "I am going to fatten you up," said the witch. "And you are fat enough. I'll cook you and eat you." Gretel was made to scrub the floors and cook for her brother. Every morning, the witch would make Hansel hold out his fingers so he could feel how fat he had grown. But Hansel had noticed that the witch had poor eyesight, and instead of his finger, he held a chicken bone. After a few weeks, the witch grew impatient. "I'm not waiting any longer," she said. "I will cook him tomorrow, fat or thin." The following morning, the witch made Gretel light the oven so that she could cook Hansel. "Now climb in and see if it's hot enough," said the witch. But Gretel knew that the witch was trying to trick her, and as she stared at the big red flames, she said, "But I don't know how far too big." Of course you can, said the witch. Just climb in this. The witch stuck her head in the oven and Gretel gave her a good hard shove and slammed the door. That was the end of the Wicked Witch. Gretel unlocked Hansel's cage and let her brother out. They danced and whirled around in delight. They searched around the house and found chests full of gold coins, red rubies, green emeralds, and silver goblets. These are better than crumbs, said Hansel, filling his pocket. The children set off for home, but they were still not sure which way to go. Suddenly, Hansel saw a pigeon flying high above them. It's my friend, said Hansel. He'll show us the ways. Soon, the children spotted their cottage. They ran until they fell into their father's arms. The woodcutter was still thrilled to have his children back. He said, your stepmother has gone. She never come back. Hansel showed him the jewels. Look, father, we shall never be hungry again. And they never were. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.